Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, Thursday the 23rd of August, and we're heading towards the bank holiday weekend, of course. I've seen better weekends. This is probably a mediocre bank holiday weekend that's really going to be feeling more like September, I think, than August. Of course, we're only a few days away, but it will be feeling more like mid-September than the later part of August. More of that in just a moment. Just a reminder, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. So if you do see if you come back to the site regularly and use the site, use the charts, use the videos, it puts more adverts in front of you, and it's that that generates the revenue that keeps the site free of charge. And also thanks to so many of you for spreading the word about the site. This is the chart for today. We've got a ridge of high pressure through the country today. Hazy sunshine across eastern areas and dry too, but more cloud out towards the west. It's this area of low pressure we're going to be watching closely though, because it's that feature that comes in during the weekend, and it's that that's going to be controlling the weather. By this evening we'll find periods of rain coming through Ireland, one or two spots across western Wales, western parts of Scotland, northwest England too. I think fairly cloudy for eastern Scotland, northeast England, could just be a spot of rain, but staying dry through most of the Midlands, East Anglia, southeast and southern England as well. Overnight tonight, the area of low pressure gets ever closer. The periods of rain become more persistent across Ireland and also nudging the far western tip of Pembrokeshire and into southwestern parts of England by the morning. Isobars becoming close together here. You'll notice the winds picking up through the Irish Sea, becoming south to south-southeasterly at a good force 8, perhaps even a force 9 by the morning here across the southern Irish Sea. Southerly at 8, perhaps even touching a 9 in the far western channel. More generally though, south to south-southwesterlies at 3s across the central and eastern channel and the east of England. Through the course of the morning on Friday, the area of low pressure moves in. Some very windy conditions across Ireland, across western Wales, southwest England too. Heavier rain across Ireland and southwest Wales, and also the southwest of England, although the west of Wales avoiding the worst of it. I think some cloud and spots of rain for northwest England and western Scotland, but eastern parts of England, eastern Scotland running down through the Midlands and southeast England should have a dry and bright morning. Again, gales out in these western areas. And then through the afternoon on Friday, the low pressure edges ever eastwards. Heavy rain across northern and western areas. I think some heavier bursts of rain coming through Wales by then too, and also some heavier bursts of rain just moving their way through southern counties of England. I think becoming brighter out in the southwest of England with a few showers, but staying windy throughout these western areas with the winds touching gale force at times. The winds increasing in the eastern channel too as these heavy periods of rain move eastwards. 5s and 6s out here in the eastern channel, still southeasterly at 2s and 3s off the eastern coast. Those of you who like going flying, well, low cloud and non-VFR across Ireland through Wales and central southern England. I think better conditions for eastern Scotland and eastern parts of England. Overnight into Saturday, the area of low pressure just drifts into the Irish Sea. It takes the main area of rain through central and northern Ireland, through northwest England, down into northeast England. Parts of East Anglia in the southeast could get some shower rain for a time too. Dry weather then follows through the Midlands and southwest England, although the southern coast are 1 or 2. You'll notice as well, look how close the isobars are here. So I think gales across western and southern Ireland, coming up through the Bristol Channel, southwest England, through central and western parts of the channel, near gales in the eastern channel, but much lighter winds towards the north and east of Scotland, where it should be staying largely dry. By the morning on Saturday, we're going to be finding that area of low pressure across northern England. You'll notice here, look, how strong the winds are. It looks like it's going to be central and southern Wales and the southern half of England that bear the brunt of these. Westerlies, I think, typically at force 8, which is gale force, up to force 9, severe gale force. We could find force 10 through the channel and across the western parts of the Bristol Channel. Gusts here could be up to 50 miles per hour. I think heavy periods of rain across Ireland and western parts of Scotland. I think heavy periods of rain too, but more showery across southern Scotland, North Wales and northwest England. Down to the south, it's blustery showers, but some good spells of sunshine coming through here as well. And then through Saturday afternoon, the low drifts into the Irish Sea. I think windy across Scotland, heavier rain across northern and western Scotland, down through southwest Scotland, also northern England going into wetter conditions too. I think some heavier rain slipping south through Northern Ireland into the Irish Sea. This could come into western Wales later on in the day. Across central and southern England, mainly dry, just 1 or 2 blustery blowing through, but the wind really is the feature here. Gales or even severe gales through the central and west and eastern parts of the channel. Gales out towards the west. Gales in the Irish Sea, 2 northwesterlies at 7s, touching an 8. I think across eastern Scotland, those southwesterly 6s, and for the north of England, northeast England here, just winds variable around the area of low pressure at 4s and 5s. Strong around East Anglian coast too, with gale force winds here. Overnight, and I should just say as well, for those of you flying, very windy down towards the south, non-VFR. I think across Scotland, Ireland, Northern England, here the problem really is going to be cloud bases down at about 1,500 feet at times in rain, otherwise 3,000 feet. And then heading overnight in towards Sunday, we'll find the low pressure clearing away eastwards. Heavy periods of rain for Scotland and also northern parts of England. And you notice there just some showers drifting through the channel. Some of these quite heavy across southern coast of England and thundery too. We then have to look for another area of rain just coming through northern England as the front comes back southwards across northern parts of England on Sunday afternoon, and also for southern Scotland. Some heavy periods of rain here. I suspect it's focused through southern Scotland and northeastern parts of England. Across much of the Midlands, East Anglia, central southern England, southwest England, Wales and also Ireland, it'll be a dry but cool afternoon with some good spells of sunshine, although still look these showers drifting up the channel. Winds westerlies at 5s or 6s through the channel. I think northwesterly falls across the Irish Sea. Northerly 6s down these northeastern and eastern Scottish coasts. For flying, I think 1,200 foot bases across Scotland and northern England with poor visibility really knock it on the head up here. But down to the south, yes, it'll be breezy and there could be some moderate turbulence, but I think 3 to 3,500 foot bases and good visibility are the order of the day, although moderate in any showers. And then notice this ridge of high pressure building through overnight. We see residual rain clearing from northeast England. Winds are going to be falling light now then. This does bring the first, I think, of possible frosts, of autumn frosts, to much of central Scotland and northern parts of England. I wouldn't even rule out a touch of grass frost through central parts of Wales and central parts of England too. As I said, it is going to be a cold night, and temperature, well, they're going to be dipping quite low. Here the minimum temperatures look down to freezing across central parts of Scotland, even in the air. These are air temperatures, 3 degrees across northern England, 4s and 5s for central parts of Wales, although the cloud across eastern England keeping things much warmer here. But a cold night is on the cards for all of us nonetheless. And then as we get into next week, well, we find the area of low pressure by Monday starting to nudge back into the west. This brings gales back into western parts of Scotland, Ireland, Western Wales and the far southwest of England by the middle of the day on Monday, and see this area of heavy rain. Watch how that edges eastwards through the overnight period, taking heavy periods of rain to northern and western parts of Scotland. I think some heavy periods of rain across southwestern parts of England as well, but more eastern parts of England and southern parts of England should be drier, at least until late in the evening. So I think eastern Scotland, eastern England, southern England probably are going to be staying dry with some sunny spells, I think, through most of the day on Monday, and it really is overnight before that rain arrives. But you see here how the winds are picking up. Gale force across much of Scotland, severe gales for western parts of Ireland, near gale force through the Irish Sea. And then as we head in towards Tuesday, so we find rain will be clearing its way eastwards, away from eastern coast, taking the front with it. I think sunshine and showers then follow through most of the country, some of the showers quite heavy at times, but still windy across the north and west with gales here. And overnight into Wednesday, a ridge of high pressure just builds into the south through Wednesday, so it actually looks like being quite a pleasant day. I think some sunny spells and warm too. Might just be an odd spot of drizzle through the Irish Sea and western coast of Scotland because of some low cloud here. But I think generally most of the country looks like having a fine day next Wednesday. Sunny spells and becoming very warm too. Could be 26 degrees across central and southern England. More rain though starting to gather out towards the west of Ireland and also Scotland. That will try and get its way eastwards as we head in towards Wednesday and Thursday, and will bring rain through Ireland and Scotland. Could just be some thundery weather across the far southeast towards the middle part of the week, and then things do turn more unsettled with low pressure trying to get in, bringing this area of thundery rain northwards across southeast England into the middle of the week, with the risk of some heavy rain here, although it's still quite early days on that. Elsewhere it's a case of sunny spells and showers. Now beyond this, we're looking at conditions generally for the beginning of September still looking as if they are improving. This is the ensemble model. Notice the dates here progressing up there in the top left hand corner. I just want to show you what happens according to the GFS ensemble in the early part of September. Watch for the ridge of high pressure as it starts to build in here over the Atlantic. That's the ridge that we're looking for here. Now then, there's the 29th, but watch what happens. That ridge builds, it squeezes the trough here to the west of the UK, which then in turn tries to build this ridge towards the east. The low pressure passes across the country, look, during the 31st, which is what we just saw on the GFS charts. Then our first ridge collapses away, but the second one, look, manages to build through. So it could be for that early part of September, the ridge of high pressure builds in. It brings dry conditions to much of England, Wales and southern parts of Ireland. But across Scotland and Northern Ireland, the jet stream is still in here. So I think rain is going to be affecting Scotland and Northern Ireland again from about the 4th or the 5th of September. But down to the south, indications are that conditions could be staying largely dry, and I think that could take us through till about the 6th or the 7th of the month. So there are some indications there that once we get this unsettled end of August out of the way, we could see better conditions building in through September. And you may remember that was what was forecast. I did say a better second half of August, and generally that's what we've seen overall. I then said that the final few days of August would go unsettled. That looks like happening, but the beginning of September may well come good for about 4 or 5 days, and that's looking on track just at the moment too. So things not looking too bad as far as the medium range and long range forecasts go. We need to keep our eye on the detail because we're into tropical season now, and lots can develop during a short time. But for now, I'm happy with that idea of conditions settling down early September for a few days after this rough end to the month. That's it for now. Keep the sun shining. Thanks for coming back to the site, and don't forget to tell your friends about what we're doing here. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Keep the sun shining. Bye for now.